hui, lo.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so let's do this again. 3 times. Putin hui, lo.
Very good.
Putin hui, lo. And Putin hui, lo. Okay, all right. Good afternoon. I survived my time in Kyiv, giving all my math talks there, and I made it to Lviv, giving another math talk here. This is Terrence Tao. It's my contact at the university here. And we were behind a statue of Ivan Franko, but it's quite rainy. A little bit of a rough day, so we're going to meet some students and get to my math talk. And it's rainy, but at least there's no air alerts yet. So, Oksana, Alexei, and Jan, you guys see yourself over there. So we're going to talk about some stuff while we're eating, but we got distracted by math. So now we got to rush because I'm going to give my talk in 10 minutes. I don't want to be late. Stefan Banak up there, right above. So I guess we'll be recording with 2 cameras. He used the strong law of large numbers to prove that almost every real number is normal on all bases. Just talking about this recent research connecting descriptive set theory to normality and other things. There have been some kind of surprising breakthroughs. And Professor Banak gave me a ticket to the opera for tomorrow. So this is very nice. All the people from the talk and whatever, we're getting together for some pizza, beer, wine from the Transcarpathian Mountains. So we'll see how this is. Budmo, is that right? Is it Budmo? Cheers?
Budmo, yes, exactly.
Budmo. Okay. Elena is in history of math, and her son Marco is going to join us. And we're going to look around town at some fun stuff and see the mathematical history. There was a very big mathematical history in Lviv years ago and still is. So we're going to go check some things out, and this feels nice and comfortable here. I don't hear any air raid sirens, so Kyiv was a bit intense. So let's go and see what's in Lviv now. Tourist, I kind of want to go on that. So I didn't expect this to happen. This is pretty cool.
We are near a building where famous mathematicians were professors. Stefan Banach, Hugo Steinhaus, Vladimir Stožek, and many others. A table where they talked about mathematics and
fed lice at the same time. Yeah, that's pretty raw. Here's Stefan Banach. Okay, here we go. There's the man himself. Over here is the former Roma cafe where they started going first, and I guess Stefan Banach ran up a huge tab. He was, they're all eating, they're drinking tea and coffee and alcohol and all that, and he, I guess, just kind of tried to escape the place because he owed a bunch of money. And so they went over here to the Scottish cafe instead. And my understanding is that they were like writing on the tables and everything with all kinds of problems, and they didn't want like the waiters to erase them. So it's Lucia Banach? Lucia Banach, the wife of Stefan Banach, apparently just got them like a big notebook instead to kind of ease the burden on the staff over there. And so this became the Scottish Book, where they wrote down a whole bunch of problems. And I understood that they had a whole bunch of like weird prizes, like a live goose or something like that if you solve the math problems.
Yes.
Someone won.
Some problems had prizes, and Stanislav Mazur wrote down the problem, and the prize was live goose.
The goose there, that's the symbol.
Symbol of Scottish Cafe.
The weird prizes.
Scottish Cafe was renovated more than 10 years ago, and they try to have such atmosphere as was at that time, but maybe it is very expensive for our professor.
It does. It was like 500 hryvnia for breakfast, which even by my standards, that's pretty expensive.
Very interesting mathematical problem are in internet. We have account for Lviv Scottish Book, and Terrence Tao choose problems, and they are at MathOverFlow. Terrence Tao found this problem and solved it.
Yeah. Did he win a goose or what did he?
No, the bottle of drinkable honey. I don't know. And
We know Terrence Tao
the-
loves drinkable honey. So. I don't think I mentioned this yet. Actually, Lviv was Lviv back when all this was going on, and was part of Poland. So it's traded hands. You know, now it's in Ukraine, part of Ukraine. And when World War II started, all this nice mathematical atmosphere and everything was kind of knocked down quite a bit. A lot of people had to leave, and was mentioned earlier, some of them like Banach had to feed lice to stick around. One other way we know we're in Ukraine, we're in front of Roshen, and it's a big Ukrainian chocolate company, and also the president of Ukraine before Zelensky was Viktor Poroshenko, the Ukrainian Willy Wonka, the chocolate man. So a few little things that just remind you where you are. But otherwise, I mean, I would just completely forget, because this just looks really nothing like the other cities in Ukraine that I've been in. First mentions of Lviv are in 1256 AD, and it was named after the son of this guy over here, Danilo, King Danilo. His son was Leo, and the lion is a symbol of Lviv, and apparently we're going to see a bunch of them all over the place. Here is one of the lions of Lviv up here. Sister's aroma is a little unsettling. I'm not sure what they're getting at with that, but let's move on. So we have the city council building up here, and well, the trams don't, oh my god, yeah, look at the guy with the dog on the head. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You got the Polish architecture, you got the general Ukrainian insanity with sisters in Roma and a dog head on a guy in an advertisement, and it's a kind of a jarring mixture just kind of being around these two things at once, but I like it. I think it's really nice. Is this the Scottish Cafe Goose over here? Are they solving math problems? I got a whole bunch of requests for Putin toilet paper on my live stream in Kyiv. And what do we know? I have a whole bunch of it over here. So, time to buy a big stack of toilet paper. The hub definitely represents in Lviv. Ukrainian MILF hunter. Success, I have 6 more rolls of Putin toilet paper, and these are more for using than for decorative display because these ones go all the way down to the center with the print. This is the Dominican church, and it's I'm told it's Greek Catholic, and what the hell does Greek Catholic mean? Apparently it's like half Catholic, half Greek Orthodox. So apparently this used to be a museum of atheism during Soviet times, and I'm told there was a big pendulum up there that was somehow trying to use the rotation of Earth to prove there's no God. I'm not sure how the logic on that goes. Maybe someone can fill me in. But, you know, communism, so let's... It's kind of odd to me. There's a mirror on the street that people are using to check their appearance. So I don't think I've seen that elsewhere. Like, what is Slavik's fashion? I guess, is this where they have the gopniks?
Sorry?
They have a gopnik? The Adidas?
Maybe, yes,
Maybe
yes,
something.
Yes.
These, yeah, I guess these are the local Lviv gopniks. What's going on here? I don't know. So this is part of the Armenian church from the 14th century, but why are the windows boarded up?
They are because of a war. It's no. We try to predict the ruins of.
To protect it. Okay,
Protect
so
it,
they weren't
yes.
destroyed. And I guess, oh yeah, also to note while we're here, Ukrytia. So here's a bomb shelter. So you kind of like, it kind of feels in Lviv that in some ways so far it feels the war isn't around, but you still see some signs. This was built in pieces, and this is like 19th century where we are right here, but the part we saw outside was more 14th century. And look at this. So it's interesting to see some of these windows that are boarded up are kind of preventative measures rather than something was actually destroyed. And here's something interesting as well. So this was a fountain, right?
Yes.
And I guess they're a Neptune's fountain?
Neptune.
We
can see Neptune.
Yeah. And they're they're kind of worried that maybe this could be destroyed in some way with the war, so they're covering it up, as well as there's many other statues around here that you can't see as well because they're trying to protect it from some potential attack. Lviv is known for some kind of weird restaurants and cafes, something you need a password for, and I heard there was one run by dwarfs a long time ago, and this is apparently one where they may end up whipping you, like with a whip or something, if you go in, or I don't even know. Like I'm honestly, that's not my thing. Got a little history. This is named after Leopold Maso when Lviv was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and he's what masochism was named after. So that's why it's the Masochism Cafe, I guess. That's what that means. So it's actually pretty clear, the Maso Cafe. So yeah, if you want something funny that this guy was into, I guess he had some weird fetish of like someone dressing up in fur and beating him or whipping him or something like this. I'm not entirely sure, but you can thank this dude for all that sort of stuff. You said, was that gross? What was in his pocket? I'm not sure. So apparently everyone puts their hand in his pocket. I am not touching that. You are braver than me for doing that. Ew. Elena promises me that we're close to the weapon museum. This is the former city walls of Lviv right here. So we're gonna see a bunch, I don't know, swords and random stuff pretty soon, I guess. So weapon museum, it's 100 hryvnia to enter. And here's our symbol of Lviv again, but I want to swing some swords around. Do we get to play with the weapons, you think, or no playing with the weapons? Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. So bad weapon museum, everything's behind here. How uncomfortable it must have been to go into war. I mean, for many, many, many reasons, but like this in particular, just like look at, like, yeah, I can't imagine wearing something like that. Actually, I had another thought on this. Like, we just saw this like masochism cafe. I mean, it kind of fits. Is this a gimp mask or something? Well, we're going back to the university, and we want to see the history of this place, but I just got news that the 2017 winner of the Nobel Prize in Physics, Kip Thorne, is actually going to be giving a lecture here. He won this for stuff with gravitational waves and all that type of stuff, and so it's kind of cool. He's venturing into Ukraine, and we have all the stuff going on, and I got lucky enough to be here while he's going to be here. So I'm going to go to that tomorrow, but for now, let's go to the university. We saw earlier where Banach and these other mathematicians were working, but they're in a different place right now. I mean, of course, Banach is long gone, but so right now there's the main university building, and this back when is Lemberg, I think Lviv was called in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It was this region called Galicia, and it was a capital. And this used to be the main government building back then, and it was given to the university, and the mathematicians now live here, I guess, among others as well. I think Ukraine really has the best advertising people anywhere in the world. I mean, if this doesn't want to make you join the army, I don't know what does. So you get to ride into battle on the giant cat. And apparently there's all kinds of references down here as well that I don't quite get, but yeah. Very creative. I really, really like it. Well, thank you for the tour, and so I'll see you. All right, bye. This is the music where everybody needs to stay still if someone from Lviv lost their life in the war. I'm on my way to the opera now, and one thing I listened to a lot about Oki and Elsie and Christina Solove to prepare for this trip to Lviv, and sometimes it feels more like the reality of Lviv is a Christina Solove video, at least particularly today. So anyways, I'm running slightly late and I gotta go here, and I'm pretty sure I was told that there's actually a river underneath this street, that they covered it up and it would be really hard to dig it back up again. So there's some water running underneath me. And here we go, the National Opera House of Lviv. There is Professor Taras Banak. Hey, I made it.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hello, hello.
This is my wife.
Dobry den, hello. Irina. This opera is based on a story of Ivan Franko, and it takes place in the 1300s, right? I think? Something like that?
Mongols and Tatar invasion.
Mongols and Tatar invasion, okay. So I'm gonna not be able to talk too much pretty soon. So just here's a view of the opera house, and we're pretty high up. We're on the second to last floor right here. So I just caught a little bit of that. They're announcing if there's an air raid, then we have to stop the performance and go down to the basement. And if the air raid lasts less than an hour, they're going to continue the performance. Little quick information dump on what was going on there. So the guy that was like punching the people and in some sort of fight, so he was fighting bears. He's the son of like the chief of this village, I think, of poor people in the mountains, and the desks represented mountains. And so he was fighting these, I guess they're actually bears. So he's kind of like a Zangief sort of character, actually like punching and beating up bears. And then Miroslava, the woman that he carried up, she's the daughter of like the rich person there. And then the rich person's like, what do you want for saving my daughter? And he's like, her hand in marriage. He's like, ha ha ha, you're poor, no way. So apparently when you see this box with the bears, that means that the people are actually bears. And I don't know, I just rather them wear bear costumes or something. But anyways, this opera, this is called The Golden Ring, and it was composed by Leo Toshinsky, who, I'm not joking, to me this sounds crazy as like an American. He won the Stalin Prize, as in Joseph Stalin, not once but twice for his contributions. Miroslava's father betrayed the villages to the Mongolians, and they're going to come in the next act. And this is part of the kind of Soviet idea of rich or bad, poor or good sort of propaganda. So we'll see some Mongolians. Totally got some infinity going on here, some countably many copies of mirrors. Couldn't really tell how it ended, but they actually won. Apparently they beat the Mongols. They had some stone that was blocking the river, and they flooded the Mongols out by moving the stone. So Maxim died though. So we're going to some special restaurant where you need a password to get in, and something I heard about for a long time. So let's go check this out. Well, the restaurant is hidden. I guess you need to know where it is. There's no advertisements. You gotta knock.
Героям слава. If you would like
Hero is Slava, okay.
to answer. Слава Україні, героям слава.
Oh,
Героям слава. Заходимо.
did we get the right password? Okay.
He asked and answered himself.
Oh, okay.
A change. So I asked the
We have to
Вибачте, лоу, леді першу.
звичайно, можна knife, gun.
Oh, no, for gun. Just a camera.
смачне.
Так, правда?
What is
Я
it?
думала, що ви мені горілку просто.
Дякую.
Класно.
Будьмо.
Реклама.
Будьмо.
Реклама зараз робиться без...
Дякую.
Там можна переїжджати границю вільно.
Have you seen this hidden?
Ah.
The doors looked like bookshelves.
They have their own beer, Putin Julia.
Yes, yes. It was...
Nice. So we ordered a couple Putin Julio drinks. That's a very not so nice word in Ukrainian. It's also on my Putin toilet paper. And it was also pointed out to me we are right under the noose. Putin Julio. So what's going on? Is that Saddam Hussein there, or like, who's the other guy in there and is sitting in his lap?
Who is sitting? It is Medvedev.
Oh, Medvedev. Okay, it looked like Saddam Hussein for a minute. Okay. So a Russian. Oh yeah, I know who that is. Okay.
Yanukovych. Do you see Yanukovych?
Where is I've been to Yanukovych's
On the
home.
left with the ears.
Oh, that's Yanukovych. Okay, right over here. Putin Julio, Putin Julio, Putin Julio.
Mixed two letters, by the way. It is not Julio, but Huilo.
Julio.
Huilo.
Julio.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so let's do this again. 3 times. Putin Julio.
Very good.
Putin Julio. And Putin Julio. Okay, all right.
Lviv is a small Paris.
I might just have a low tolerance, but this Putin beer is hitting me already. I don't know about you guys. I haven't had much to drink in a while,
We are
but
close to the next one.
yeah, I haven't had that much. There's my chicken and mashed potatoes. Oh, good afternoon. I slept 11 hours. I'm still recovering from everything on this trip. At least in Lviv, it's really nice that there's some chance to relax and it's not just like bombs and attacks and craziness all the time.
Air raid alert. Proceed to the nearest shelter. Don't be careless. Your overconfidence is your weakness.
And I'm on my way to the Kip Thorne lecture, any Nobel Prize winner lecture, fine by me. So I wanted to show one more instance of this. This is Adam Mickiewicz, the Polish poet, who is the one my university that I work for in Poznan is named after, University of Adam Mickiewicz. And they have this monument as well, protected, in case there's going to be any attacks or whatnot. So that's what we see over here with this. This is kind of a funny sounding name for a store if you sound it out in English. I think it might be a name or something actually, but arson, like as in setting fires to something intentionally. So yeah. We're waiting for Taras to come, and the place is completely full. We're kind of like behind a beam a little bit, and we got here kind of early. Hello. Yeah.
She was much too intense for me, and I was too much of a nerd for her. actually a very big black hole. It's in the galaxy Andromeda, the nearest dark galaxy in our own galaxy. Now you have to have that kind of material, which is exotic material, in order to hold the wormhole open.
I decided to brave the line to try to get a signature from him. The line is really, really far if we go back here, but there's still a bit to go. But I think it's worth it. Here you go. And can you also point this too?
Okay.
Hello, fellow American. Hey. So, it's
Where are you from?
Detroit. So I'm waiting for a signature now, and it was suggested that I have him sign the poster for my talks in Ukraine. Can you sign this instead next to the Lviv lecture? All right, thank you so much. Well, that was obviously very rushed because there were many people here, and so got to meet his wife as well, who's here with him, and I guess he's 85 years old. He was probably pretty tired from all these signatures and pictures and things like this, so I'm glad I got at least a little something with that. And I guess they got this invitation a few months ago, and they fit it in on their trip. They were around like Germany and some other places, and apparently he's here like at this point to inspire young people. So definitely, respect to him coming to Ukraine. It's definitely still has an adventurous spirit. Pointed out that, there's a whole variety of events and feelings and emotions in Ukraine. Like for here, it involved Fields medalist Marina Vyazovska, who kind of planted the seeds of me going to do this. And then, I meet a physics Nobel Prize winner, and then there's like bombs, and then there's interesting, exciting stuff going on. And in all fairness, even before any sort of full-scale invasion, visiting Ukraine is always a huge emotional roller coaster. So, very interesting place, and I highly recommend visiting here. Lviv is quiet, but I am still just wiped out from this time in Kyiv, so I'm just trying to sleep some, so I just tried to chill a lot tonight. I'm going to go to bed, and I wanted to show, I don't think I showed this before, though, one of the gifts I was given. This book about the Scottish cafe. So there are many gifts I've been given, or I'm also working as a transporter, giving some stuff from Poland to Ukraine, and Ukraine to Ukraine, and Ukraine to Poland, and whatever, and that's okay. So I can be a postman of sorts. And I found this. JCVD. You can see Jean-Claude Van Damme. So they haven't had too many crazy magazines in Ukraine like they used to back in 2021 and earlier, but at least, I don't know, that looks kind of funny. So I'm going to write out a couple postcards and just go to bed, I think. Okay, so we are in front of Kyiv Cemetery, and we're going to be going in, and we just got a bunch of water. It's actually a really nice and warm day today. And this is where Stefan Banach and many other interesting people that I guess you'll tell us about.
Acropolis. It is called Lviv Acropolis.
Lviv Acropolis, okay. So we'll go find some buried math people. And then a little later, the undergrads I was meeting with earlier, they're going to join us. So Professor Banach pointed out a mistake here. So I want to find Stefan Banach's grave. And it's as in Professor Banach, this one over here, so not a... So to correct the earlier thing, so it's not the Acropolis, as in like where Yanni gave a concert back in the day and with the Parthenon, but it's a necropolis.
This cemetery is already full. No, not enough place to new graves. So just very important people that died in our time are buried here.
So this one is from the Austro-Hungarian Empire over here. We still got the lion, the symbol of the city. Okay, so we're in an interesting place right now. So this is a writer, Yaroslav Olenkandrovich Galan. And so apparently he was very pro-Soviet. He was a Soviet collaborator, and the resistance killed him in his house with an axe. And even, his grave afterwards maybe was hit by an axe or something. So this is an area with a lot of Soviet collaborators. Here is the grave of Stefan Banach, and Taras Banach is putting flowers here. So it wasn't just him, it was others as well. I guess this is the main grave of Edmund Riedel. So you put QR codes down here, so for all the important mathematicians who are buried here, you can look for more information where you find the QR code. Maria Konopicka, if anyone's from Poland, I guess she wrote a bunch of children's works. Did you read them? Apparently a lot of people are coming here and visiting her grave, and not Banach's grave as much. We're at the grave of Miron Zaritsky. I just had a couple takes on how to say it properly. But just one interesting anecdote that I was just told is that he translated Stefan Banach's book on functional analysis into Ukrainian, and that was used as the book for the standard course on functional analysis in the Soviet Union, even though it wasn't in Russian and it was in Ukrainian. Ivan Franko's grave, and so he was the writer, and the opera that we saw the other day was based on one of his stories, and I guess he was buried somewhere else for quite a while, and later they got this monument and he was moved over there, and this I'm told that this monument here is based on one of his writings that children study in school called like Stone Workers or something like that, and about working hard and beating the stone, also related to the opera. So this is the grave of Solomia Krushelnitska. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was an opera singer, and the opera house is named after her. You guys know that the lead singer of Okeanelzy was a physicist. This is the grave of his father, Ivan Vakarchuk. And he was the rector of Ivan Franko University, right? So he was doing quantum physics, and he also had a lot of work in terms of getting rid of corruption, also in the admissions process for students. Skoro Bohatko, so they're just some kind of sketchy, itchy plants we just walked by to get here. And this guy did a lot with continued fractions, so that does overlap actually a lot with my own research, although he have a continued fraction formula there. Apparently he used them for doing things with differential equations. If anyone understands how continued fractions are related to differential equations, please comment. I know how they're used for other things. Okay, we have the modern part of the cemetery now, so it was thought that the full-scale invasion would stop soon. So they thought they're not going to need too much space, but of course that's not true at all. So they have another area that we're going to see soon where they have many more people buried from the modern war. You know, this is March 13th, 2022, for example. So that was already way in the beginning of the conflict. We also have burials of people from the invasion in 2014 in Luhansk and Donetsk. And you can see, that one, he died in 2020, so that whole conflict started in 2014. Friend, you said?
Both. We sang all together in university choir. We sang there, Cheremush. So Vasyl Kindratsky, he was a journalist, and he went to the war from the beginning when Russia occupied Donetsk and Luhansk, and unfortunately he died on the war.
And we have these guys here with us now too. So Dobry den. Hello. So we're now coming up on the modern cemetery with victims of the current full-scale invasion right here. And you were telling me at night that there's lanterns, and it looks from a distance like each one is a person. This is just from Lviv then? Or from other cities?
It's from only Lviv, maybe from Lviv Oblast, but I guess only from Lviv.
Okay.
All these smaller towns have their own.
Okay, every town has something like this. This is 2022, right? Okay. It's gonna take a while to get to the other side, I think. But there aren't so many air raid alerts in Lviv, so you can kind of forget about the war going on here. But then when you see something like this, you can tell, like, no, it's still going on. Trying to put all the Ukrainians who died as soldiers in the war here, so they're still trying to clear space. There apparently were some Soviet graves over there that they moved to a different location. And they're running out of space, and sadly there's going to be more that are going to die and going to fill up this place. So when we're walking down, Taras counted the number of rows and everything, and we're getting back this estimate of 1,200. But there may be people there are people buried in other cemeteries with their family in other places, so we don't really know the actual number. Honestly, where my mind is going right now, I think there's a Christina Solove video where she's like riding in a tram in Lviv and singing. Going to get something to eat, I would love to stop and look at this old book market and see what's here. There's a gigantic pizza here. Yeah, just giving some perspective on it.
Літня школа. Baby Steps Beyond the Horizon для випускників 4-го.
Again with Oksana and Alexei, so you both are students here, and I need to leave pretty soon, so I just wanted to ask a few questions. So, do you feel safe here, actually, physically safe?
Actually, I do, and
Actually, I 50-50 because it's pretty safer than Kyiv or something like that, but I feel that there are a lot of drones and stuff, so...
Yeah.
yeah, ballistic missiles can still hit Lviv, so it's nowhere really
it
safe. But
previously.
yeah, it happens this September, I guess.
Uh-huh. Does this like sort of worry, like, affect your mathematical studies? Like, can you actually relax and focus on math?
I personally do.
Again, 50-50 because you can abstrahuotis. You can zoom out and study, but eventually you see news, you see everything, and actually stuff happens.
Yeah. Is there any stories you want to tell me that might be interesting to someone who doesn't live in Ukraine or anywhere?
I believe that a lot of people, in a context of living in a war, in a country that experiences war, don't. Well, there was this feeling of unity of Ukrainians in the beginning. It was so strong and it was so inspiring that I almost miss it a lot. And a lot of nations, I believe, they do not really experience such things. It's like all people in one country came together around one idea, and they are ready to fight and devote their lives for this idea, and they don't even question how important is that. Like, everybody understands that this is a life or death situation.
Yeah, we like to argue one with another, but eventually we all are one family, we're a unit together.
I wrote down my problem in the new Scottish book. And yeah, for those who know my research, I'm asking if the set of Q or the set of normal numbers and distribution normal numbers are the same, if that's a Borel set or not. But I wrote all the definitions down, so maybe someone here at this table will solve it. I completely forgot to write my name, so now I actually have my name there. Scottish Book Cafe. So, anyways, so thank you for the tour and everything. So, head out. Bye.
Я її не зрадив, сама се зрадила. Не забуду вас ніколи.
Малось мені може статися й тобі, і за це ти мене не винуй.
I'm in a little bit of a rush now. I need to get to my bus at 1 a.m. and it's a little tricky getting there with a curfew at midnight, and I need to hopefully get a taxi in time. I'll just quickly show the room I was in. I don't know the price of this. It was paid for by the ICMU and therefore, London Mathematical Society, but I was sleeping there, not with that bag, of course. I couldn't get the TV to do that much. There can be amazing things on these types of TVs if you get them working, though. Refrigerator. I actually did not check out the bomb shelter, believe it or not. So things have been peaceful enough, and you got a bathroom and everything. So it's fairly basic, but what's the cost? I don't know. Free, kind of. It's a university housing. That was really cool with the music in the main train station. So anyways, I am taking a bus to Warsaw. It's probably a good time to get out. It might even be that bus. I got to check. It leaves in a half hour. It's probably a good time to get out of Dodge because Ukraine just had a very recent, very successful strike on the Russian military. Slava Ukraina, but that also means retaliation most likely. I wanted to point out one thing before I forget, is that apparently the lead singer of Oki and Elzy was at this opera, and actually very, very close to where we were sitting. And because he posted some pictures on his Instagram, that's what Irina showed me. And it was really just kind of like right where we were, except we were to the left and he was kind of to the right. And it was like in the same balcony almost, or maybe even the same one. Still looking for the bus. But the latest news is that Ukraine hit something like 40 to 100 of the planes that Moscow is using to bomb Ukraine. So that's wonderful news, and I really don't want to know what Russia's going to do to retaliate. I was a little worried I'd miss it. It's a half hour late, but we think that this is the bus. It says Kherson to Warsaw. I'm not sure, but I guess we got past the Ukrainian border. There was a very small checkpoint. Some guy checked our passports. I'm not sure. Good morning, I guess. I'm not sure what time it is. We stopped to take a piss. And I was overly optimistic about crossing the border. I actually had passport checked 5 times. And so I think it was something like maybe 4.5 hours on the border. Like this is notorious, and it could have gone like way longer than this, I hear. But it's like on both sides of it, they would check what they needed to check and then just hold us for a couple hours. I'm not really sure why. We just kind of waited there and everything was checked. But I was sleeping some. I'm going to try to go sleep some more. Made it to Warsaw. I'm in Warszawa Zachodnia, Warsaw West Station, and this can be a little bit of a wild place sometime. They actually removed it, but like not too long ago over there you could get like ninja stars and knives and little throwing axes and things, and I guess it's to prepare for your trip to Ukraine. I don't know. Not really sure what they're there for, but that's my best guess. But like in this particular part, I think there's an overrepresentation of Ukrainians just because like all the buses I think are going to Ukraine and end up here, and you can see there's a lot of Ukrainian kind of everywhere here, as well here and a bunch of other places. The ninja stars and axes are gone, but at least there's a bunch of very stabby and slicey knives left that you can use. Well, I'm in Warsaw, Poland now after that crazy bus trip, and I've just been pretty much just relaxing. I'll go to Poznan in not too long. And I found out more details about what this is that happened right as I was leaving. So this is Operation Spider's Web, and it was just totally crazy, like, oh my God. So they had these trucks in Russia, and they just hid the drones under the roof of the truck, and then they just went automatically at some point when it was ready. The roof opened, the drones went up, and they damaged, I think it was something like $7 billion worth of Russian aircraft. So this was just, yeah, I mean, that's just incredible. They even got footage from the drones that was sent over, and like that's just so clever and creative. And I don't know, it's like it's out of a movie even. It's like that cool. So Slava Ukraina on that. What did I think of Lviv? And people compare it somewhat to Krakow. It definitely didn't feel like a lot of the rest of Ukraine. And to me, kind of at least like the way the city center was laid out, I guess the closest comparison would be Poznan. But it's not exactly like Poznan, it's a bit different, but I didn't really get a Krakow type of feeling from there. And as well, thank you to the ICMU, London Mathematical Society, for sponsoring my trip. And it was really amazing, actually, all the turnout and how enthusiastic people were. And I also didn't mention as well that apparently because Lviv is safer, there wasn't even a single air raid when I was there. Like, apparently a lot of new students are going towards Lviv to study. So they're actually getting a lot of very, very good students coming to the university, and I was glad to meet some of them. This is the Palace of Culture and Sciences in Warsaw. This is oftenly associated with Warsaw, but it was a gift of Joseph Stalin, so it's a bit controversial. And yeah, it's going to take a long time to really process all that really happened on this trip. So, it's kind of hard to even say right now what to think, but it's one thing I guess I wanted to point out before is, does anyone notice like the complete lack of any Nazis in Ukraine? Like, isn't that kind of funny? They're trying to denazify Ukraine. I don't know, I didn't see any. I saw a lot more symbols of either Nazis or maybe just edgy teenagers when I was in Zurich, Switzerland. So anyways, clearly bullshit. So I'm definitely, interested in going back to Ukraine as soon as possible. There's a lot going on there. I need to rest, and I don't, it's pretty clear, I think I don't want to stay for too long, or I could kind of run into the ground with all the air raids and everything. But I think that's it for now. I'm just going to kind of rest for a bit and stick around for some more videos from somewhere else, because that's all my stuff from Ukraine. For now, at least. There will be more later. And so Slava Ukraina, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'm going to chill out for now.